Welcome everybody to another episode of Respill Sports Talk, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, and debates, and try to give a different perspective on topics. Today we got an interesting topic, so let's roll. Dillon Gabriel's trade rumors are heating up. Before the draft, the Cleveland Browns have to be trying to trade Dillon Gabriel in my eyes. Andrew Berry, no matter what he says in my eyes, there has to be a thought process of trying to trade Dillon Gabriel. It has to be. It's a two-quarterback race, and it would be better for all involved for Dillon Gabriel to be moved. Now, the NFL draft is coming up the 23rd through the 26th, and in my eyes, I believe Todd Monken and Andrew Berry has to be trying to figure out a way to trade Dillon Gabriel. And we have a video from Sports for Cleveland talking about the possibilities of Dillon Gabriel being traded before the NFL draft. Now, this is a list of players that teams might want to trade. Now, this was posted by USA Today. Let's take a listen.
One player on each team that could be a trade on draft night. So could get traded on draft night. The Browns, they say Dillon Gabriel. Then you've got Keon Coleman, Xavier Legette, Evan Ingram, Anthony Richardson, Brian Thomas Jr., Worthy, speed guy, Devontae Adams, J.J. McCarthy, a quarterback, Hollins, A.J. Brown, Brandon Ayuk. Any of those guys interest you that in having the Browns acquire them that would be reasonable? I don't think there's any way they're getting A.J. Brown, but are there any guys that you would be interested in the Browns acquiring on that list?
The only guy that really interests me is Brian Thomas Jr., and all indications are that's not going to be a thing for the time being. It seems to be that they are, I don't know if they want to say accepting defeat. I would say they're accepting defeat on Travis Hunter, this notion of him being a two-way player.
Basically, they're talking about people that would like to acquire from this list, like the Browns or different NFL teams. But let's move this toward when he talks about Dillon Gabriel being traded possibly during the draft.
Tate or Mekhi Lemon and be like, wow, look at this new offense we've built.
Can you see? I would imagine if they can get something for Dillon Gabriel, they would probably trade him. Again, that's just a hunch. It's nothing that I've actually heard.
It all comes down to what teams are offering. I mean, if there's a real interest, look, I think there's an argument to be made that if Dillon Gabriel was in this year's class and nobody remembers what happened this past year, he's the third quarterback in this class. I didn't love Dillon Gabriel last year, but I'm just looking at this class and thinking it's underwhelming. So maybe there's an offer. I'm still more inclined to think that incentives are going to be where the Browns are going to want to wait to see if he gets better in the summer. And maybe they have a situation that happens like last year. Aiden O'Connell suffers an injury. They trade Kenny Pickett for a fifth-round pick. I wonder if that's more likely to be the situation of Dillon Gabriel, because the thing is, if you trade Dillon Gabriel and then like Deshaun Watson gets hurt, as he's been known to do, all of a sudden now you've got Shedeur Sanders and nothing potentially there. So I think there might be a reason for them to want to wait just to make sure, see what happens. I don't expect him to suddenly become the starting quarterback or anything, though I'm not going to entirely rule it out. I just think that there's a world where he gets a whole lot better than he was, because his rookie year was clearly forgettable. And that at that point, maybe there's a team that goes, okay, we've seen him. He looks a little bit better. There's a little bit more proof of concept. Here's a pick that we think makes sense. And the Browns are like, okay, that's fine.
Maybe to keep him for injury possibilities, but you can get another quarterback for the safety valve just in case. I just think it's too much to keep him, and he might need a fresh start. It probably would be best for both the team and Gabriel to part ways, man. That's in my eyes, that's how I feel. And we also have an article from Yahoo Sports and Sporting News. Browns polarizing quarterback considered trade candidate for rough showing in Cleveland. Unfortunately, the Browns, similar to last season, they have too many quarterbacks on the roster. That might not be the worst outcome for a team looking for a quarterback, but the harsh reality is the Browns are going to have to move on from a quarterback sometime over the next few months or in the middle of the season before the trade deadline. There seems to be an obvious candidate Jack McKenzie believes is Dillon Gabriel, and it's not hard to see why. The Browns drafted two quarterbacks last year, and it seems Shedeur Sanders has won the depth chart battle. Veterans quarterback Deshaun Watson and his nearly $45 million cap hit is also on the roster. Gabriel is the most obvious odd man out in the Browns quarterback room. The only question is whether the Browns will be able to find a trade partner willing to take a chance on a 25-year-old, 5'11" lefty quarterback. Remember now, while the idea of moving on from Gabriel makes a lot of sense, trades only happen when two teams are involved. Just because the Browns might want to move on from him doesn't mean that another team in the league is going to want to deal with him. That's unfortunately something that the Browns will have to deal with this season. We got J.K. Truth on Twitter. He always has a bunch of videos. I follow him. Make sure you follow J.K. Truth. He has a lot of stuff, man. He's always in tune with the Browns. He's always in tune with the NFL and Colorado. So make sure you follow him. Now they have RG3 on Yahoo Sports Daily talking about Shedeur Sanders in the starting position with the Cleveland Browns. It says, Shedeur Brown starter. Players don't believe in Watson or Gabriel. I'm starting Shedeur. What they did with him was they won games. The Browns locker room believes they can win with number 2.
I'm starting Shedeur Sanders. And the reason is a lot of people will talk about his stats and, hey, he threw more interceptions and touchdowns and his EPA this and his EPA that, and this was bad. Well, what they did with him at quarterback was they won games. And that, to me, is one of the most important things for the quarterback position. When you step into the huddle, when you step on the field, do you believe that you have a chance to win with the guy that is in the huddle with you at quarterback? And the Cleveland Browns locker room believes they can win with Shedeur Sanders. That they don't believe they can win with Deshaun Watson. They don't believe that they can win with Dillon Gabriel. And that, to me, says this should be the guy, and it's his job to lose at that point. I'm starting.
I get it. He won. Went 3-4 last year, and he played very well, man. He beat some divisional opponents that we hardly ever beat. I believe he has that knack to win those games. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of yards, and it wasn't clean, just totally great. We know that the defense stepped up, and Watson hasn't played ball in a couple of years, and we trying to trade Dillon Gabriel. I believe the Browns are trying to trade Dillon Gabriel. If they get a good offer, if they get something for Gabriel, I believe they will trade Dillon Gabriel. So we got RG3, and there's a lot of people in the comments section, which is crazy, getting on him about it. If Watson is healthy and looks like he did in Houston during camp, it's a no-brainer to start Watson. They're paying him $40 million, and he's still only 31. Sanders is fool's gold. He had about 7 good plays in 7 games last season, and he continued doing the same stuff he did. I don't know. We got mixed emotions. Shedeur did bad against some of the worst defenses in the league. Gabriel played well against some of the top defenses. I don't know if anyone actually believes in Shedeur other than his Watson will be QB1 next season. You got a lot of people supporting Watson. Now, be honest. If you're a GM right now, are you trading Dillon Gabriel before the draft or holding steady? I'm reading every comment. Let me know what you think. Appreciate y'all. See you on the next video.